Hey, what's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the specs of the iPhone 5s to the iPhone 5. Now the iPhone 5s is an incremental update to the iPhone 5, hence the name iPhone 5s rather than iPhone 6. But what are the key differences between these two devices, and is it worth upgrading from the iPhone 5 to the iPhone 5s? Well, do hit that thumbs up button and let's find out in this head-to-head spec comparison. So there are quite a lot of similarities with these two devices, especially in terms of the look and the size. You probably won't be able to tell them apart. So in terms of the physical size, both of them are exactly the same, and they both also weigh the same, 112 grams, so exactly the same here. In terms of the screen size, you've still got a 4-inch screen on the iPhone 5s, and it's also at the same resolution, 1136 by 640, and that's 326 ppi. Now personally, this is quite disappointing for me because, you know, if you are getting an upgrade, I would have liked to have seen a high PPI. You know, even if it was a 720p screen, it would have been quite nice. I do understand why they've done this, and that's to keep the apps consistent so that developers are not going to have to update the apps for a new resolution straight away. But still, just that resolution, not having that upgrade, especially when there's lots of 1080p phones out there on the Android side, it just seems a little bit backwards to me. Now the iPhone 5s is also built in the aluminium unibody, so you're going to have the same sort of a feel, that premium feel on the iPhone 5s. However, you do have an additional option as well as the black and the silver. You've also got a gold version now, which we did see a lot in rumors. Now in terms of the processors, the iPhone 5 has the A6 chip, which is a 1.2 gigahertz dual core chip. Now the iPhone 5s, they've not been specific in terms of the cores and the clock speed, but you've got an A7 chip on the iPhone 5s, and that's 64 bits, so that's the only smartphone out there with 64 bits. That's what they've said, and they've also said that it's twice as fast as the iPhone 5, so that's going to be really nice for those high intensive apps, and gaming is definitely going to be performing a lot better than the iPhone 5. The different options available, we've got the same 16, 32 and 64 gigabyte versions. There was hope for a 128 gigabyte premium version, but that didn't come about, and neither of these are expandable, so you are going to be stuck with the storage that you get, so it might be worth going for a larger version if you are going to be using a lot of media. Now there have been lots of improvements in terms of the camera, the rear facing camera. Now although it's still 8 megapixels, so the same resolution, the pixels are larger, and it's 15% larger the sensor is, and the pixels are 1.5 microns each, whereas the iPhone 5 has 1.3 microns each, so larger pixels are going to give you better low light performance. You've got lots of new features. For instance, when you take a picture, it's going to take quite a few pictures and going to pick the best one out of there. And the iPhone 5s also has a True Tone flash, and that's a dual LED flash. One of them is warm and the other is cooler. That's going to give you better skin tones and colors, so quite sophisticated there, and definitely going to be performing a lot better than the iPhone 5. In terms of video, 1080p at 30 frames a second on both of these devices. However, the iPhone 5s also offers 120 frames a second at 720p. This is going to be absolutely great for slow motion, and that's really nice to see. Front facing cameras, however, are both 1.2 megapixels and only 720p, so that's something that I'm quite disappointed about. I would have liked to have seen 1080p from the front facing camera on the 5s, but it is still 720p. Both of these are going to be running iOS 7, so you're going to get the standard version. That's something nice with Apple, that they do roll out the latest version of the operating system on all of their devices, and you don't have different manufacturers that have their own skins and things like that, so that's quite a big advantage that Apple has. It is going to be running that little bit smoother on the 5s because of the processor and the better internals. And the iPhone 5s is going to come with iOS 7 out of the box, so you're not going to have to do any upgrades either. Now the iPhone 5s does offer the additional feature of Touch ID. So now this is the fingerprint scanner on the home button, so this is quite nice to see, something different, something quite unique. You're going to be able to unlock your device with just your fingerprint, and you're also going to be able to make app purchases and things just using your fingerprint ID, so that's quite nice and something different. Both also have the same battery, 1440 milliamps. In terms of performance, they are saying that the 5s is going to be performing a little bit better, we'll have to see this hands-on. I'd expect them to be roughly about the same. Now finally, looking at price, the 5S, $199 on a 2-year contract in the US. In the UK, £549 here in the UK, compared to the £529 for the 5 when it was released, and then the prices go up as so you are going to be paying a little bit more for the 5S than you would have done for the 5. So those were the key differences between the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 5S. Is it worth an upgrade? I don't think it is really. I mean, it is an incremental update. The reason why Apple do this is because a lot of people are on 24-month contracts, so they won't be upgrading right away to the next device. So because of this, they only do a major upgrade every 2 years. So yes, the iPhone 5S does offer a lot of new features, but things like the screen and the resolution and the size and the dimensions are the same. So unless you've got lots of money and you do want to take advantage of those new features, then the iPhone 5 will still be fine for you for another year. What do you think anyway? Will you be upgrading from the iPhone 5 to the iPhone 5S? Well, do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, as always, please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And why not subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more videos coming up on here, including a hands-on iPhone 5S review. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time. If you want to see more regular videos like this one, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, which will be below. If you're on a mobile device, it may be somewhere else. If you want to see my previous related video, then hit the link right here. If you want to stay in touch over Facebook, Twitter and Google+, then all of the addresses will be there somewhere, as well as direct links in the description below.